biggest mistake. I'm blue without your face. But what can I do? 'Cause I'm just a sinking ship, and you're just a pair of lips that I've lost in the moment. All I want is for you to come back. Now I'm caught in the middle of life, and I need you.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Red Pill Diaries. I'm your host, Rashid, and as we wait for my co-host and colleague, Carl Zada, to join us, we've got to discuss a few things, man. I mean, as the show was about to go on, I was looking at new news and everything, and it brought to mind the name of the show, the War Report. These are episodes that Carl and I do together, and I was thinking about the hypocrisy of America and how she is demanding that Iran live up to international obligations while pulling out of treaties. She's demanding that Hezbollah unarmed. She's demanding that the African nations be subdued. She's demanding that China abide by free navigation. She's demanding that Russia do not escalate in Ukraine. And at the same time, she is leaps and bounds breaking the law in every which way you turn. So as I was as the show was about to come on, I just so happened to get an alert on my phone, and I went to it. Let me see, and this is the article that came out at today, January 9th. Okay, and it came out at 1900 hours. Okay, and this is on RT, so you can go look at it. The headline is this: Trump says he does not need international law. Now, while he's demanding that the world obey international law, he continues to flaunt international laws by pulling out of 66 organizations, multiple treaties, and he's endangering the world. And this is the guy that promised you peace. No more wars, right? No more color revolutions, right? And then he kidnapped a sitting head of state, all right? How much more evidence do you need to understand that this guy is selling you a bill of goods? Okay, now let's go into the article a little bit before Carl joins us. Okay, it says the U.S. president has said he is bound only by his own morality after a military raid against Venezuela and threats to annex Greenland. Why would he say that? Because he was involved with Epstein, whether he was a car length away or whether he was with him, he knew what he was doing. Remember, this is the same guy that was rubbing elbows with Hillary Clinton that now talks about Hillary Clinton. Yeah, Hillary Clinton's not in jail. It's the same one was talking bad about Obama and talking bad about Bill Clinton and talking bad about Biden. None of them are in jail. The same one that said he would release the JFK assassination files. The same one that said he would release all of the Epstein files. So we know there's no morality there. Kidnapping Maduro and bringing him back to U.S. jurisdiction as if Venezuela doesn't have their own laws, as if Venezuela is not a sovereign nation. And then judging the Venezuelan president under trumped up U.S. laws that they had just made. And then once they get him in custody, they say, oh, we knew that that drug cartel that we said he was the head of is a lie. But are there any financial, political, or judicial repercussions for that? For Trump. See, these U.S. presidents and their administration can say anything to justify a war, but later are not held responsible or accountable for the lies that they told to extract people or to bomb people or to assassinate people or to overthrow legitimate governments. And the media is in bed with it because they bring none of this stuff up. None of it. So let's go further. And I see you in the chat. We'll go in the chat in a second. It says, in an interview with the New York Times on Wednesday, the U.S. president made clear that he would not be restrained. These people are in bizarro world, Russia and the global South at large, and the entirety of the BRICS, okay? by doing what he did, and now he's trying to figure out, play it by ear, by throwing stuff up against the wall to see if anything sticks. And this is what he says in an article. This came out today too, at 2300 hours. Okay, and so Carl pops in right on the right time when I'm bringing this up, because this has to do with China. And I want to bring him in. So my guy Carl, before I read this part right here, I'm going to bring Carl in on how is it going, my friend?
Hi, Rashid. How are you?
Oh man, I'm doing pretty good. Carl, we all know that the play against Venezuela was actually a play against the global South and the BRICS, with specifically China in mind. This is what Trump came out and said. This is the headline from RT. Trump says U.S. would control 55% of world oil.
Well, I think what Trump is trying to do, he's trying to do two things. One, he's trying to shore up the U.S. position in the Western Hemisphere. Two, Trump needs a distraction so people don't keep on asking him for the Epstein file. I think the second reason has a stronger motivation for him. You know, if you see what Trump is doing, which seems crazy to the outsider, he's going to Venezuela at the same time. You know, he's saying Greenland is next. So right now, this is Trump is claiming victory. This is very our special forces is so awesome. We can snatch any president from any country that we don't like. But fundamentally, there hasn't really been a regime change in Venezuela. They stop it in the water around UK. You know, that's very far from Venezuela. And so this could potentially, this has a potential for escalation, because now Russia already said that ship's registry is valid, it's legal, it's legit. And tanker get turned overnight into a missile destroyer. I mean, it has about 65 missile launch in the Sudan civil war
and Somalia.
And so that whole region is doing. They're on the path to lose both people and the land. And this is why Russia is not in a hurry to enter any kind of. I mean, it's only a matter of time.
And we see all of the rich resource areas in the industries now under Russian control, which is
their pawns in this proxy war against Russia. They're doing in that way. So I'm assuming the guy was talking ironically. Bless Trump. Keep doing the good job you're doing.
Well, on that note, Carl, man, I want to thank you for joining me. I know you got some things to do. We're going to hook up shortly. And please don't forget me. And when I sent you the little message, please don't forget me on that one. Everybody listen, I want to thank Carl. As always, Carl hits it out the park every single time he's on the platform. As he often says, Carl, you say we're going to be here, we're going to laugh about it, and we're going to talk about it. What do you have to say before we go off the air?
That's what we will be doing for a long time. Step of the way.
All right, my friend, be safe and be blessed, and I'll talk to you later. Bye. Everybody, I want to thank for giving me your time, because time is the most precious commodity, because it's an unrenewable asset. So I hope the time that you spent with me was worth it, and you got an equal or greater payoff for spending this hour and a half with us. Okay. On that note, I want to say to you all, do right by others, not because there's some material gain or some accolades to be had, but do right by others because it's the right, the humane, and the godly thing to do. Because even when no one else is watching you, remember that God Almighty is watching you. As my late, great, and beautiful and wonderful mother would always say, God sits high on the throne, but he looks low on the actions of man. Know that I love each and every one of you who loves truth, freedom, justice, and equality, but know that the love that I have for you will always pale in comparison to the love that God has for you. Until we next speak again, stay strong, stay true, but above all things, remember this one thing, to stay righteous. Hey, mama, your baby boy loves you more than life. Deuces, everybody. We're out of here. Peace.